All right. So, once again, I need to remind you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host, Brother Hot Tim. And of course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. So once again, family, here we go. The question of the day. Since I got a little bit of time before I have to go get my daughters. My daughters went to a birthday party last night. Got to swim around a little bit with the cousins. I got a little bit of time. You know what I'm saying? So, let's go and have this conversation. What do you have faith in? What is faith? Let's talk about it. I mean, really. I mean, because we throw these words, but do we really sit down and talk about them as a group? You know what I'm saying? Because all of y'all are part of my tribe. All of y'all are in my tribe. So in some form of fashion, you know what I'm saying, the balloon goes up and you need help. You know what I'm saying, brother? Tim gonna do what he can. Shit. You know what I'm saying? If I get to you, we're gonna make something happen. Right? Now, but the issue is we have to start clarifying what it is we stand for. We have to start clarifying what some of these principles mean. So as a community, we can start making them work for us. Right now, we're dealing with general definitions in a world that is very, very clear on what they mean and what they say and what they do. West Asians are very clear on what they say, what they do. Very clear on that. You know what I'm saying? Some of them might not like it, but hey, that's the way it is, right? This is what they'll tell you. That's the way it is, right? So now, as black people, what do we have faith in? What do we believe in? You know what I'm saying? And don't be scared to say things like money, because a lot of us, we worship that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to say some things, because I got the lines open. Let's have a conversation, family. We got a couple minutes. You know, we about to do this toast. Now, there's the one problem with the toast today. I ran out of ambrosia. This morning. I'm still drinking on my water. The blackout done slowed me down. I got to pick up my girls. Got to get a haircut. But I got time to talk with the family. So we sitting around, and the question on the board right now is, what do you have faith in? Since today is Imani. Those that don't know the language, learn the language. Imani. Today is Imani. What's Imani? Imani is faith. What do you have faith in? Well, let's say trust. The M7, what I teach the kids is M7, trust. What do you trust? Who do you trust? What do you have faith in? Who do you have faith in? Let's build, family. It's on you. I'm still drinking the water as part of the libations, or part of the toast piece, because I want to make sure that, you know, take care of my body. I got my 32 ounces on. I got the Avion, but you know, I honestly like the Waikiki better, but I can't get it in a big, like 6 or 12 pack. And also that bottled water I was drinking from Italy was pretty good too. I like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, but now, question's still up. Nobody gonna take it? Y'all just gonna sit here? Be quiet? That ain't gonna happen. Tell them, Phoenix, you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. Of course, you know this is a Daily Toast. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Call-in line is open, 614-556-4535. Hold on. Now I'm about to do my health drink. We about to do the toast real quick. We're going to do the toast. I'm going to give y'all time to just think about it. Let it roll around a little bit. What is it, broke now? What? I guess that. Is some of the power still not working downstairs, please? Alright, I'm back. I had to go make my health drink. Here we go, family. Look. This right here is a green tea, lemon, strawberry, and blueberry. Hey, Clee, can you bring me a clear glass so they can see what this look like? So once again, I have faith in myself. Sister Navita said I have faith in myself. Now, I need a clearer one because they ain't going to be able to see that. All right. Sister Navita said she has faith in herself. Now, but as a people, what happens when all of us can only depend and only have faith in ourselves? Can you build like that? Is that a way that we could build? Because if all of us got faith in ourselves and nobody but ourselves, can we build together? Carol Walker, Auntie Carol, how you doing? I'm gonna get to a sweat lodge. She says, faith to me is an inner assurance that is reinforced by my personal relationship with our Creator. Anybody else? So we got Navita say, faith in myself. Sister Carol says, Auntie Carol says, is an inner assurance that is reinforced by my personal relationship with our Creator. Faith. I mean, because this is kind of a touchy issue. You know what I'm saying? Because really, when it comes down to it, this is what separates a lot of us. This keeps a lot of us apart. This keeps a lot of us from discussing because we start talking about matters of faith, right? But one of the things that I honestly believe that we really got to really start focusing on too is not only on the Creator, because we have been taught in this culture that we all have been in a sense indoctrinated in, talks about the creators as if it is something away from us. Sister Navita says, faith in myself is not synonymous with not having faith in the whole. I am therefore, go ahead, throw it out there, girl. She said, I am, therefore we are. Faith in the people. Faith in the people. Right? Now, because one of the major issues is, like, I live my life trying to have faith. What happens when you get let down? You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things I have in my later days, right here, right now, family, one of the things that I'm struggling with is limiting my circle. Because at one point in time, like when one of the things I learned at Ohio State, we did an organization called Just Us, and just because you was black, you was part of Just Us. Right? And infiltration happened and all types of fuckery went off. And then I did the same thing with Mac. You know what I'm saying? If you was down, dude, you know, boom, 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 all types of fuckery just jumped off and just blew up the whole goddamn organization. Right? So one of the things is that I have learned to do is to start honing down the circle. Chiseling down my circle. When I pray, I let go and know that the outcome is God inspired. Now, you have a I ain't gonna say a unique way of prayer, but you have a different way of prayer that a lot of people on the podcast and on the discussion. This Sister Carol Walker Welsh, and if you want to, you gon' bring everybody in on, because you know the whole Sweat Lodge experience is a little bit different than because a lot of people pray and they pray in isolation, and they establish individual peace, and then they go to church and it kind of happens in there. But you know, the sweat lodge is a little bit more intense than even going to a group prayer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's an intense experience that a lot of people don't get to have. So, are you talking about that prayer, or is there, you know, a more private one that you do? You know what I'm saying? Is faith something? Is faith something that can help people get free? Is faith something that can help people overcome? You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things, and then I have to go, you know, because Kwesi's question hits on a piece where if something, well, let me ask this. What happens when you find out that something you have or your life experience, you don't even know, but your life experience have shown you that something that you have faith in for a very long time is not right, is not working? What do you do? How do you handle that? How do you recover from that? You know what I'm saying? Has anybody out there experienced that? You know what I'm saying? So drink your health drink. Oh, I'm about to sip. I can't sip before we toast the ancestors. There's no smell. This has not been fermented. What's up? Okay. So we lifting up the glass. We first toast the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We call on that great force. We call on that great power to bless, guide us, and to strengthen us. Even though we know it's all around us and we know that it flows within us, we are conscious of it. And we ask it. We put intention on our relationship, and we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, we move to our personal ancestors. We call on our mothers and our fathers. We call on our sisters and our brothers, and we lift up our glass and we call on all of those individuals who had an impact on our lives. So I'm going to start with my personal line. I ask you to go down your personal line and salute your own personal ancestors. I call on Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, George and William Walton, Christopher and Fanny Gatson, Chris and Fanny Gatson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fee, Geneva Brown, Cleveland Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Elvira Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Wash Ellis Jr., John Fallard, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan,
Jamon Jones,
right, Montague Pittman L, Normal X, a Pet Mount Ra, Terrell Dunbar, Mark Walsh,
Mama Malika.
Let me read down the list that I have, because I got family that's sending people in. I want to thank everybody. Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell, Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stober, Hilda Pearson, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Ware, Levita Farmer, Rio Farmer, Ago Sosu. Got my other list. Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randleman. We lift up.
I got a short.
Go ahead.
I got a short list. I'm gonna start with Cheryl Harvey, Leonard Dickinson, my Aunt Evelyn Jackson, my Aunt Charmaine, my Aunt Diane, my grandmother Theolis Hasbury. Very short list. I say.
Hey, why don't you, if you could, when you get time, write those on the timeline so I can put them down, so I can put them in the Kwanzaa book coming up, so that when I'm reading the list, I got a list coming straight out of the Kwanzaa book, so that we can salute those ancestors, because we need to all make sure that we are paying homage. You know what I'm saying? Because if not for those that came before us, where will we be? Nowhere. We wouldn't even exist. You know what I'm saying? So we lift up our glass and we salute the lessons that these individuals have blessed us with, and we say, Ashe. From there, we move on to the present moment. We salute the present moment. We already talked about what moment we in. We in Imani, but of course we know that there's other things to go with that. But we understand that in this moment is our power. So we call on this moment. We live in this moment. We breathe in this moment. You know what I'm saying? And we intent in this moment, and we work in this moment to make sure that everything that we are striving for is established, so that our children will be able to stand on. And speaking of our children, we say Ashe. From there, we move on to our children, our children's children, on to all future generations. Because everything that we build and everything that we're doing, everything that we are establishing should be for the betterment of our children. So we lift up that glass and we say Ashe. And of course, we're going to say, because we just added this week, I was slipping, so Auntie Carol, forgive me, we toast to all of our relations. All of the beings that make up the whole universe, because, you know what I'm saying, we like to think as humans that we isolate ourselves, we separate ourselves, and we pull ourselves out from the world. But we have a very definite relationship with all of the beings in this universe. You know what I'm saying? And like, for example, many of you right now, if you are sitting here on a computer listening to me right now, you are only able to do that because of the relationship with the metals, the plastics, and the stones that are being used to make the vibrated the frequency so that we can communicate. You understand what I'm saying? Those microchips are made from silicone, which is a stone, which is a mineral, right? We have a relationship with those minerals so that we could be able to communicate in the way that we're communicating now. So we salute all our relations. Most of us woke up and we ate something this morning. What we eat? We ate something from the earth. Not only did we eat something from the earth, we ate something from a life form that was formed from the bosom of the earth, whether it was an animal or whether it was some type of vegetable. So we salute all of our relations, and we say Ashe. From there, we move on, and I salute each and every last one of you. Those that take time to call in, like Brother Shaka. Those of you that just listen. Those of you that write comments. I want to send shots out to each and every last one of you. Right? Know that I love you. Know that I wish the best for you, and I ask that the ancestors and the Creator clear your path. Don't take every obstacle, because with no obstacles, there's no need of living, right? We only grow through struggle. So you know what I'm saying? I want them to make it a little bit easier for you. I don't want them to take everything away. So we lift up that glass and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Now back to the conversation. All right, Brother Shaka, you online? Go ahead. You got a couple minutes while I sip on my health drink. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to jump right in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, world. Anybody recognize my voice? You able to say hey to me, Hotep, and all of that. Now, listen here. I'm going to jump right in. I just had a network training yesterday, meaning that I have a collective that is so involved in building in the community that on a monthly basis, we have a team building training. All right? What I found yesterday was a level of disenchantment amongst nuclear teams. Well, I was disenchanted, and I had to express it. And I'm going to express it to y'all, because just because we working together don't mean that we always going to see eye to eye, don't mean that we always going to do things the same way. Now, Hatem, you know process, the way some process that we've gone through, some process that you've aided in, that you've led, and that is a particular way of learning. It is, to me, called operative learning. When you put people through initiation, it is an operative style of learning. White folk like to stay in a comfort zone when they learn. So we are in this comfort zone, and this is what the conversation was. You got the central. Just imagine this ripple effect. In the center, you got your comfort zone, where there's a lot of pretty things, but very few things grow there. Then outside of that, you got the learning zone. Outside of that, you got a panic zone. And so the part of this meeting that became disenchanting to me is when the facilitator says, okay, well, we're going to do this activity, and we're going to go around, and there's these concepts, these principles that we all, over the course of the past 3 months, have been talking about and examining. Now I want you to put your own personal effect into this. Like, what does this mean to you personally? And is this a principle that, that resonates within you? And everybody, not everyone, but our people kind of got taken aback. Like, why are we going through all of this? What are we doing here? This is not progress. And I get it, but like I said, not every one of us are dealing with things from the same place. We are not learning the same way. So you see that disenchantment, and you see that kind of like we're going to fall back because we're not familiar with this way of doing things. I'm not familiar with a way where people are asking me to express a deeper level of what it is that I believe. People are not used to talking about their belief beyond religion, beyond the context of religion and politics. All right? Mm-hmm. We're talking about you. And when you get that naked in front of people who you're not ready to get naked with, you get nervous and you start acting a certain way. And that's where I recognize, because it's only, we have a very colorful bunch. But I started seeing those who were very uncomfortable kind of fall back because they're not innovators. But because we're pioneers, we're trying to cause everyone to get into this innovative state. And all she's saying is, I want you to write your personality into this collective mission. And a few folks was kind of scared of that, right? Mm-hmm. So I step up and I say it like this. I'm like, listen, it's like this. Right now, we have a grand opportunity because of what we've accomplished to be the next in line to present something that me personally, in my lifetime, and Hatem, I have a logic model that I've worked on since we were working together.
Right.
And to share, especially if it's going to be branded as a solution-based process that we can share with the universe. And y'all right now are, y'all kind of jamming me up because y'all showing me that you're not believers in self. So the whole piece is, it's like this. Right now, we're at the junction where you ever had and this is the example that I use, and let me know if it was way off or what. But Hatem, if I brought you a really, really good bourbon, and we toasted to that bourbon, and you drank it, and it went down, and you felt sensational, what's the first thing that you're going to do? You're going, what's that called? And what's the next thing you want to do? Look at the bottle and look at the recipe. Look at the how that was cultivated, right?
Right. Because it hit me right.
Imagine, right, exactly. Imagine reading that recipe and you're part of it. That's what we were trying to accomplish yesterday. And one of my young cats, he even left the conversation because he was just like, man, this ain't progress. Like, really? And in progress, you're going to find that. Because the whole point of the conversation was nothing grows in the comfort zone.
Nothing. See, no, I was just going to say, because that's a key piece. Because when we start talking about faith, belief, when we start talking about bringing harmony, right? In order to bring harmony, there has to be some disharmony there. You know what I'm saying? Harmony comes, is pulled and is extracted out of some type of struggle. You know what I'm saying? Whether we talking about music or we're talking about groups. And in order to do that, you have to, in a sense, be uncomfortable enough to be like, and be comfortable enough with yourself to do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when we're building and we talking about nation building, we talking about family building, we talking about relationship building, we talking about all this building, and we're not clear on the fact that we're going to run into hardships that's going to test our faith. You understand what I'm saying? And we're not all clear on what faith means to each of us. We're going to have a problem. This is why individuals on the battlefield, you know what I'm saying? It's like boom. You know what I'm saying? They start learning how to believe in each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, battle does that to where you're able to see what somebody believe in. You able to see somebody's character. And it brings out sometimes the worst, but sometimes the best and the most powerful things out of people that you could grasp to, and you know this individual, so you know that when the shit hit the fan, they're not going to run. And that's like building a business. When you're building a business, you at war. When you solving community problems, you at war. It's a conflict. And out of that conflict, it enables us to see the other. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, bro. Keep on going. I'm sorry. You know, I get into my little diatribe. And that ain't a diatribe. That was a monologue. But go ahead.
Yeah, hey man, and I'm telling you, this is what it takes. I mean, you know, on one side, yeah, for my network, I'm saying, you know what? I almost want to call my brother Hatem so he can come do because what we lack is ritual, and what it is, as you know, and this is true in a lot of our smaller collectives, we lack sacred acknowledgement. We don't treat our movements as sacred movements. Meaning, when we have a social movement, why are we leaving out God? You understand what I'm saying? When we have social movements, why? Is it because it's not politically correct to connect your belief system with this social movement? I don't know why we lack that vibration in our movements. But
I'm gonna take it a little step farther. It ain't even about my issue. When I'm talking about faith, I'm not talking even about God. You understand what I'm saying? See, because think about this. The dollar is fueled and powered by our faith and our belief in it. You understand what I'm saying? There's no God in there.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But it gets shit done. Right? See, because I'm like this. You can leave that. What I'm talking about is being able to establish a clear understanding together about what it is that we have faith in, what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because when you find out what somebody has faith in, you can predict what they're going to do in certain situations. Right? This is why, once again,
based on their fundamental being.
Based on their fundamental being. Right? This is why initiation in traditional societies was very important. Because like I said, under pressure, you get to really see who and what somebody is. Under pressure.
Now, let me chime in on this.
Now,
right.
Wait, hold on. One question. Hold on. One question real quick. I see you posting up some names. Are those names of ancestors that you want me to write down?
No, these are people that I'm trying to get to chime in.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
All right. So we're not going to learn. We're not going to learn how to move together by sitting on our hands. And that's what happens in a lot of the bureaucratic scenarios. They are not getting out there and hitting the field together. My team, we're not hitting the field together like, even how, shout out to Alan Fields and the Huckleberry House outreach team, because a lot of my fundamental understanding of outreach and community engagement came from that brother and came from working alongside of Mama Malika and coming in after you hired him. So it's like you set a certain Malika always enforce that standard on me. So it's just one of those things that, shout out to all of y'all. So the piece is that sitting at the meetings, I'm telling folks how even hit the field together. I don't know what half of you all do outside of this room.
Right.
I know that we have the potential for greatness, just like ours. When you look back 25 years ago, and you out on the beat doing your outreach with your partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a situation happened with you. I don't know if you want to share that situation, but what did you learn about your partner when you was out there on the stretch and you dealt with chaos was brought to you?
Dude, at that point in time, I learned who he really was, and I mean, I knew who he was prior to that, because me and him traveled to Georgia, and I was trying to speed off, because this is when Freaknik was going. I was speeding, trying to get to Freaknik, and got arrested in a place called Catoosa, Georgia. They pulled me in, and they said, well, oh man, the judge ain't going to be here for about another 2 weeks, and you're going to need about, your license is expired, you're going to need about $700 to get out of here. I said, $700? He said, yeah, $700. I said, you know what? I said, can I see my partner? He said, wait, you want to see your partner? I said, well, he going to give you the money? He said, nah. He said, you don't want to call nobody? He said, no. I said, I got time on my job, homie. I'm going to sit here until the judge come back and y'all release me, and then I'll take the bus home. So when Rob came in, I told Rob, I said, Rob, dude, go and enjoy yourself, man. I will see you in about 2 weeks. When you get back to Columbus, let Huckleberry in the house know that I won't be in for maybe 2 weeks to a month. Because I ain't paying these motherfuckers shit. Rob went. I'm serious, man, because, I reckon Hus game recognized game, dog. Listen, you got all these people coming through the Freaknik. I got all these, everybody. I'm like, hey, cool, I look up, they got cable. I'm like, cool, I get comfortable here. Shit, I'm getting I'm getting meals. I can watch Saturday morning cartoons. I ain't in no hurry. Rob left. He said, oh, man. He said, I ain't going to leave you in here. Rob left, went to Atlanta, came back the very next day, and pulled me out. Said, brother, don't even worry about paying me back. Because, you know what I'm saying? So I knew where Rob's heart was then. Rob did everything he could. See, because this is the issue. When I know what you believe in, I know how you respond, I know what to expect out of you. I didn't expect Rob to run up and do what I did, but I expected Rob to do what he did. Rob came over and made sure I was all right. Rob made sure that the police and the ambulance was notified. Rob did everything that I could expect from Rob. What we have individuals who have never really struggled together, have never really done anything together, trying to form these organizations to make changes, and then when the shit hits the fan, when the rubber hits the road, because we don't know each other, I'm upset because you didn't do what I thought you should have did when I didn't have time to really evaluate who you were in my life. You got warriors, you got poets, you got scholars, you got all types of different personalities, and I've learned over my time that I only can expect from somebody who and what they are. When I start going outside of that and expecting everybody to be who I am, that's when I start fucking up. Everybody can't do what I do. I don't expect everybody. It's one hot temp. You know what I'm saying? It's one shocker. Like you know what I'm saying? I know what to expect. I know what to expect from you. I know what to expect from Taiwan. I know what to expect from Preston. I know what to expect from Devin. I know what to expect from Deshaun. I know what to expect from Shamar. I know what to expect from Miss Tracy. Right? I know what to expect from my time working with them, from going out and doing rituals together, from going out and sitting in sweat lodges together. I know what to expect. And for me to put faith in them to do what I would do is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because the issue, we don't have an issue of faith in our community. We have an issue of misplaced faith. We expect people to because we think that everybody works. Like, for example, you go, like, for one of the things I run into in the career field that I'm in right now, you get young people coming directly out of college and they come into a classroom and they expect the classroom to run like it runs in a textbook. But when you mess with kids, you know what I'm saying? Shit is going to come from the left. Shit is going to come from the right. And it's not going to be like what you studied in the book. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I think we're dealing with individuals that really believe that theory is reality. You understand what I'm saying? So, and we dealing with each other in theory. We're not dealing with each other in reality. We're not putting ourselves in real situations where we can actually see the reality. That, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And let me chime in.
Go ahead.
That's the piece. Is that we see, the thing is that when we talk to our kids, even if it was religious allegory, all right, the religious allegory is as commonplace and is as casual as talking about Star Wars, because there's no sacred vibration in the way that we're dealing with that. We're not dealing with religious allegory and belief in the same conversation. We're trying to disprove somebody else's stuff, and to me, that is entitlement.
We debating history.
So, right.
We debating history rather than.
The thing is,
but go ahead.
We cannot discount the power of belief, because belief is what empowers everything. And what you call displaced faith, I call fear. Because if you can't pronounce what it is that you have faith in, then it's just a justification of what it is that you have actually. If that doesn't make sense to those, it's like, let's say, something real ratchet. Like, you with some homeboys, y'all got an after club going on, and one of these girls is going live for y'all. And you got one dude in the bunch, and they like, go ahead, man, it's your turn. Like, I'm a man of God. I can't do it. This dude don't go to church. This dude don't represent no kind of, like, in no other point in his life has he even mentioned being a man at this one point. And the reason he ain't want to go is because he was going right after you, Hot Tim, and he ain't know if you played dirty or not. He ain't know if you played fair.
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not displaced faith. That's fear.
Well, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, somebody else, hey, don't feel that you can't get in the conversation. Hit us up at 614-556-4535. I have it pinned up, right? I got a couple more minutes before I have to go get.
Please do.
I got a couple more minutes before I have to go get my girls. But, you know, we're talking about faith. What do you have faith in? How do you develop faith? How do you develop trust? You know what I'm saying? Because when I was putting the M7 together, I couldn't use the term faith. You know what I'm saying? It's a problematic term, especially when you're in a professional environment, right? And I know a lot of y'all that won't feel me on that, right? And that's cool. So I had to come up with something that everybody could work with. So the term that I saw when I was looking up and doing my research was trust. Trust. Right? So it's like, I said, damn, you know, when I think about it, trust requires a lot of belief in something, a lot of faith in something. You know what I'm saying? When you trust is like faith in action. You know what I'm saying? Trust is like belief, is in motion. You know what I'm saying? We trust that when we go to the store, when I go to the store to buy whatever, when I pull that dollar out of my pocket, I trust that person on the other side of that window is going to take my dollar and exchange goods for it. Even though I know that the dollar is, I can know all the economics beyond the fiat dollar and all this shit. It works. And I'm like, yo, why can't we get faith? Why can't we get that type of trust jumping off with what we're doing? And could it be that we're doing it wrong? Could it be that we're not, I mean, like you said, there's no sacred. You know what I'm saying? The sacred and the profane have been crossed over. And when you mix the sacred and the profane and everything is just the same, what you do is you allow for chaos to exist. You allow for chaos to be in your midst.
Now, why you want it?
Huh?
While you on that, Hot Tim, this will be a good time because I'm going to bring it up about the sacred note of time that I extended to you. Go ahead. Finish your statement.
Oh, I'm done. Don't do your thing.
So that's why I put those together, because when you pull your wallet out for somebody, it's that moment where you shut up and you listen and you wait for the presentation. And so sometimes I'll go into my wallet and I'll pull out this sacred note of time, which looks like money. It ain't money. I exchange it. I put it in your hand. It looks like money, but there is no monetary value to it. Instead, there's a sacred value to it.
You talking about
and
that?
When I extend it to someone, I say, this means that in this lifetime, I devote some sacred time to build with you. That's what this note represents. That's build.
Can you see it? Did you see it? Is that it?
And that, yeah. Yes, sir.
I got it in my wallet. I'm gonna
cash
cash this motherfucker in one day. One day I will approach you and expect a favor. But go ahead.
Hey man, that's a beautiful thing, Hot Tim. That almost brings tears.
Man, I don't be, you know,
vibration.
Man, listen, I don't be playing with, you know what I'm saying? Sacred stuff, sacred moments. When you gave me that, right? We driving, and I dropped you off somewhere, and you gave me that. I said, oh, okay, because I understand the power of exchange, right? That's a relationship forming. Relationships, see, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, because like one of the things that I constantly tell people is, we get all deep about a lot of shit, but sometimes we become so deep we become dumb, right? It's like we can't even see it. So I'm talking to people and we start talking about spirituality. What is spirituality? Spirituality is the maintenance of relationships. It's just that simple. What you mean, brother? Don't you have a relationship with the Creator? Yes. If you want to see if you want to see the extent of somebody's spirituality, look at their relationships. If they don't have no relationships, you need to move away from them. Because that's not spiritual. Spirituality is about cultivating relationships. So when you give me a note, we're cultivating our relationship. There's an exchange there. You know what I'm saying? We are practicing the laws of Mayat: truth, justice, reciprocity, balance, order, and harmony, and reciprocity. Right? See, because I tell people, and I'll be like, boom, because one of the things that I had to come up with, because that, like, in the position I'm in, I have kids that adopt me all the time. You know, loud, Mr. Mean, Mr. You know, a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, as adults, they be like, you mean, you can't be saying that to some of the kids. I'm like, some of the kids need to hear this shit. And they appreciate it. So they come, hey, Uncle Brown or Uncle Hot Tim or you know what I'm saying, this is my dad, blah, blah, blah. And I tell kids and I tell other people, I say, listen, you can't have a relationship without the 3 R's. See, this is where we get. We got individuals that want to come into groups because when you join a group, you're forming a relationship, which is an extension of your spirituality. And a lot of people don't want to get into relationships. They're scared of commitment. They're scared. I mean, really, when it comes down, they're scared of commitment. So I ain't gonna commit to what you're talking about, Shaka, because I'm already in a relationship. I don't want to jump the broom with you. I don't want to jump the broom in this organization. I just want to be part of it. And a lot of people want to have relationships without the rest of the R's, right? Relationship is like a stool, a 3-legged stool that sits on something. Sister Terra House is in the house. Do you want to come on camera? Anybody want to come on camera? Let me know. I can add you on camera, or you could call in at 614-556-4535. So now, spirituality is about maintaining relationships, monitoring and maintaining relationships. That's all it is. You get all deep with it. You know what I'm saying? When you burn incense, you're monitoring. You're working on a relationship with something higher than you. When you make a sacrifice, you're working on a relationship. It's all about relationships. A lot of people don't understand that. They want to make it all deep and complicated when it's not. Right? And in a relationship, there are 3 R's that hold up the relationship seat. And that's respect, that's responsibility, and that's reciprocity. Now, I tell young people and I tell grown folks, you cannot have a relationship with me. Don't call me uncle. Don't call me cousin. Don't call me brother if we can't have the 3 R's between us, because it makes no sense. Peace, Sister Yvonne. How are you doing? There's no relationship without respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. You understand what I'm saying? And so when we come together as a group of individuals and we form organizations, we got a bunch of people who don't want the respect, don't want the responsibility, and don't want to deal with the reciprocity of that relationship. This is why a lot of organizations fall to the wayside. Why a lot of our personal relationships fall to the wayside. You know what I'm saying? So when we really get into it, you know what I'm saying? When you form a bond of trust, you form a bond of trust. When you have faith in something, when you believe in something, right? You're forming a relationship with it. A relationship of respect, responsibility.
Say those 3 R's again, man.
Respect, responsibility, and reciprocity. The 3 R's of relationship.
And you know what? And what's so crazy, man, is that, and we go back and forth like this. Sometimes you'll say something, it's like, yo, that makes sense. Sometimes I say something and vice versa. What you are requesting in all your relations is what I humanly asking for one thing, and that's functionality. Because in functionality, the give and take is said and done. You know what I mean? The reciprocity in a functional relationship. You know, and so for me right now, it comes sometimes, son, is the litmus test. Because when it comes to, I want to spend time with you, or I want to go out to dinner with you. And I had to ask my barber friends, because sometimes the barbershop that you take these things to, I asked these brothers, I said, hey, how many times do you take a woman on a date and pay without any reciprocity? You know what? The brothers is right. They counseled me, man. They let me know. Now, hey. You go beyond 3 because you looking for a relationship and she's not. They told me, said, Shaka, you need to stop stepping to these sisters like you looking for a relationship, because you're speaking for them. And so as long as that happens, they're going to keep treating you like that's what you want, and they're going to keep taking you
for a ride.
Letting you take them to dinner.
Right. Which, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and like I said, when we look at the 3 R's in our relationships, we can know where we are. You know what I'm saying? And this is the truth of the matter, family, because it's like respect, responsibility, reciprocity. Are you getting the respect? Are you giving the respect? Do you have a responsibility for this relationship? And does the other person take their responsibility serious for the relationship? And then is there reciprocity? See, most of us got better relationships with our money than we do with the human beings around us. We respect it.
Absolutely.
We take the responsibility for getting it, and we expect a return when we give it. Right?
Yeah, but is there anything? See, I was going to say this earlier when we're talking about the team building and the energy. Dig this. How do you deal with this, Tim? I know I used to.
Good morning.
I used to date a sister.
Wait, hold on. Hold on for 1 second. Shots out. The brother Anubis, who's on the line, feel free to chime in, brother. Shots out to Naichi Dominguez. What's up, bruh? Shouts out to Kimberly Burke. Shouts out to Miss Stephanie Jackson. Shouts out to Miss Yvonne Heath. Shouts out to Tara Hassa, Lee Inchagandi. And like I said, anybody that want to come on, dial in at 614-556-4535. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no code. You can jump right in the conversation. Or if you're bold enough to jump on the camera with me, you could jump on the camera. Let me know. Why did I just finish having this conversation? Because, family, you are family. We are on vibe because we got to have these discussions. We got to have these discussions in personal relationships. We got to have these discussions in group relationships. Family, we got to get our group. We can work on the personal, but at the same time, we got to work on this group shit. Because it's going to be the group thing that breaks us out of the madness. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the institutions. You know what I'm saying? What relationship do you have with the institutions? This was even deeper, man. When you look at ancient civilizations, right? The deities existed in the temples. What does that mean? Right? Of course, God was everywhere, but the God was concentrated in the temples, which means that the priests had direct access to the deity. And the people served that entity through serving the temple. You understand what I'm saying? There was a relationship. The people had a relationship, and this is how gods died, or were resurrected, or were totally forgotten when they established a relationship with the people, where they practicing respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with the people. When reciprocity wasn't near, the responsibility wasn't near, and the respect wasn't near, those deities died. And the people moved on to something else. The question we got to ask is, what deities do we have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with? If we want to be real about it, what organizations and institutions do we have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with? What friends do we have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with? What individuals do we have respect, responsibility, and reciprocity with? And those individuals are the ones that you have relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And all those relationships ain't positive. Sometimes you might be giving a little bit too much in the relationship, and you might need to, you don't have balance. See, because it's based on my eye. We got to find a balance. A lot of people aren't comfortable in saying that shit. If you feel that you're giving too much, be honest. See, because a lot of times we get stuck in a place and we start having illusions about what we're going to do or what we want. And our illusions overtake the reality of the moment. And we end up being stuck in a cycle that is not healthy for you or the other person. Or the other group.
Absolutely.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Don't get me jumping off on this shit. All right, family. The timeline is filling up. Shouts out to Taja Calloway. Shouts out to Nicole Pittman. Kimberly Burke. I hope I answered your question because we vibing. We family. You know what I'm saying? This is the issue. Most of the people that come to my channel in some form or fashion, I have interacted with you. You know what I'm saying? So that means that we are family. We are vibing alike. There's something about me. There's something about you that the universe saw fit to bring us in together in some form or fashion, where now when we having discussions, we start finding out that we're having discussions about some of the same things. We're having the same struggles. But the only problem is we are suffering in isolation. And that's how our enemy wins, family. The enemy wins because we suffer in isolation. And we think that we are alone. And
sometimes we put ourselves in that situation.
But and this is the issue. We're doing what we've been taught. As a man, you ain't supposed to say out, Shaka. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you ain't supposed to complain about women using you. You know what I'm saying? As a man, we're not supposed to say ouch. We're not supposed to do that shit. And then there's certain rules that the society has put on women that we all are acting in, and we isolate ourselves to a point where we can't even discuss or have conversations that are healthy and promoting. Why? Because it becomes so emotional draining because we have been taught in the society that emotions are weak. When we come from a culture,
you know what?
Wait, hold on. When we come from a culture that has been colored by emotion. One of the things that makes us African is the fact that we are able to connect with our emotions, because it's our emotions that allow us to connect with our deity. This is how we feel God. This is why even in the church tradition that has been watered down for hundreds of years, black women will still jump up and catch the Holy Ghost and lose their mind, because we are a emotive people. And there's nothing wrong with that shit. But go ahead. Sorry. Wait, hold on. Nicole Pittman says, good morning, family. Kimberly Burke, that has always been true. I know that you are my brother. That's Miss Kimberly Burke. Oh, she changed the last name. What's up, Yoga Kim?
Uh-oh.
But go ahead. Go do your thing, man.
All right, so here we go. All right, and I want to extend this question to the listeners. In engaging in a relationship in these days, what is more important? Is it love or is it money? And I'll explain why I'm asking that question, because at one point I actually resolved a relationship because money was more important to her than building a relationship out of love. And let me just say this. This is a woman that I dated out in New York who was a wholesale mortgage broker. And her team was spectacular. All right? She was a closer. She had processors on deck. She had appraisers on deck. All the numbers that they needed every single time she came into a deal, it closed. This is back in 2007, so I want y'all to understand what time it is. When I say she had a team, right? Sometimes even real buyers, but they closed deals. She was able to fix people's. This is so wrong, man. But dig this. She would make investment teams out of people who were incarcerated.
You said
all they needed was social security numbers, right?
Right.
lo and behold, I'm dating this chick. I had no idea what the whole business was. All I know is that she made $120,000 a year without ever leaving her house. Right? And between the two of us, we made $5,000 a year without ever leaving the house. All right? So the piece is, at one point of time, it made me feel some kind of way that I need to get my weight up. But at the same time, I want to keep holding to Rosario Dawson. It's everything that 99% of what I want to accept for the fact that when it came down to it, I couldn't get no kind of romance happening if she had deals to be closed. And she's constantly in the field making money. And
throw the question out, man, because we got some. So the question is.
Yeah. The question is, what is more important? If you were me at the time, would you have made it an issue? What's more important? Love
or money? Now, hold on.
Money.
Now, one of our issues. My niece says, Miss Taja, big time Callaway, sitting up there with my kids. Peace, Sasha and Gina. Peace. Happy birthday, Nair. Hey, both needs to be balanced, she says. It's almost impossible to be in love without money. Now, family, this is why I say there's only 4 things that we need to stay healthy. We need air. We need proper water. We need culturally appropriate food. And I'm gonna just start saying this. Culturally appropriate movements. We need to become culturally appropriate. Now, we don't come from a culture of love. Brother, I tell you, but love is an emotion. Tell me what emotion love is. Right? Can you break it down? If you could break it down, love is not a motherfucking emotion. Love is an illusion that's been given to the world. It's love. Love conquers all. Love, boom, but this love thing and shit. Let's break love down. Let's be scientists and break the shit down. What is it that we're feeling? We come from a tradition where an individual will have to pay a dowry. You have to be able to show that you could support the individual that you was getting involved with. The being able, because this is the issue. We had to be able to demonstrate manhood. And part of manhood is being able to produce. So when we go into these relationships a lot of times, we're going in on a whole romantic thing that giving flowers and candies and shit. That shit is all. Let me tell you something Mama Malika told me a long time ago. Mama Malika told me this. She saw me going through these relationships and shit. And Mama Malika told me, say, you know what your problem is? She said, you want to be in love. But let me be honest with you, baby. She said, love ain't shit. I said, Mama Malika, what is you talking about? I mean, you've been married 8 times and shit. I mean, I can't be taking advice from, what the fuck? Love ain't shit. I said, why you say that? She said, listen, because a relationship is basically a contract between 2 people that they're going to take on the world together. You can't have a relationship. Like I said, we're looking for love. We're not looking for the 3 R's. Can I get the respect? Can I get the responsibility? You know what I'm saying? Am I willing to get the respect? Am I willing to take the responsibility? Am I willing to practice the reciprocity in a relationship? See, if you're able to do those 3, then this whole love thing kind of fades away. You know what I'm saying? So we ask the question, what's important, love or money? Now, let's be honest, and shit is nothing but another. Shouts out to Nia, Aset, Sabali. I know who you are. What's up, Miss Nia? True relationships take more than love. See, and this is the issue, because a lot of us will come.
Let me
go ahead.
Now, here's the thing, is that in America, and I've fallen victim too. I've been married in
me too.
My life. Not going to put the fork again. But the piece is this. In America, we are sold on love relationships. opposed to arranged marriage. Understand that you,
You say who? Say it again.
all right, family is not a producer. What's that?
You breaking up. Say it again.
Hello?
Say it again.
Okay. Arranged marriages. Now, arranged marriages are a business deal. It's the merging of two families. If your family is not a producer, then you're the weak part in that deal.
Actually,
and most of the time, it won't go down.
There you go.
That makes sense.
there you go. It don't make sense. Go ahead. Now I want you to compare it, and I want you to look at it. If you say that arranged marriage is a business relationship, what is individual marriage? Is it not a business relationship? In order to get, see, you go to the church for the symbolism of the thing. You go to the state for permission to get married. You understand what I'm saying? It's a business arrangement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So regardless of whether you're doing an arranged marriage or you're doing some type of coming together as individuals, you are bringing resources together. You understand what I'm saying? You're bringing resources together.
Yeah.
Right? And what we have allowed to do, we allowed this illusion to be put over the importance of what you brought. You understand what I'm saying? Because now this is where the respect, the responsibility, and the reciprocity come in. If I'm going to connect with you, I got to respect what you bring. Just like you got to respect what I bring. I got a responsibility to continue. Just like you got a responsibility to continue. And then within that, we work out the reciprocity. Brother Anubis say, I agree with Shaka. Sister Nia says, yes, marriage business to work towards common goals. Kimberly Burke, partners in the true sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of times we've been sold an illusion. And like I said, when we used to come before the temples in Kemet, one of the first things that we had to be able to see was to be able to see the difference between the real, what's real and what's fake. Right? Our people have been sold a good, like for example, we was told that we're in a post-racial America. And a lot of us got caught up in that bullshit. Right? That you know what I'm saying? Another illusion. Oh, love is the most important thing. Right? So you need to love your enemies, and you need to love. Love will solve problems. Love ain't never wrote a check for my rent yet. I'm still waiting. Love owe me some goddamn money. Right? If that's the case, love conquers all. No, you conquer all. And you and your people conquer all. And you and your people being committed to conquering conquers all. You know what I'm saying? So we have to start learning how to look at shit from a culturally appropriate position. When our ancestors was doing arranged marriages, or even when some of us was allowed to float around and find spouses, one of the first things that they would ask is, who is your family? Where are you from? And, you know, are you able to bring the dowry to the table? Brother Nuba says, I have never personally loved anyone who considered me an enemy. See, and that's part of, you know, that's that whole, you know what I'm saying? Is this whole love thing culturally appropriate for us? You understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Right. I mean, not just in the relationship sense, but as a people. Go ahead, say it, bro. Say it.
We cannot deny the power of love, because what we're talking about truly is belief. In this society and in this culture, people believe in love. People believe that love is God. People believe that God is the light. You know what I mean? And so when we are able to interchange all of these values to make it so cliche that our fundamental value is something that we don't even understand. So that's why back in the day, some 20 years ago, when we were building together, I started to redefine the functional aspect of love that I meant when I said the word.
Yeah, but the rest of the world,
with y'all right now.
the rest of the world is taking what they mean. They haven't readjusted. You understand what I'm saying? So even though you have redefined it for you, other people are still worth. See, because when something is big and mysterious, you have to ask the question: is it to whose benefit is the creation of this thing? We have this concept called love that nobody can define. You can't define love. How can you even ask that? If you sit down and have a serious discussion with people about love, they can't tell you shit. Oh, it's a feeling.
Right.
It's forgiveness. No, hold on. Is love forgiveness? Or is forgiveness part of love? And if forgiveness is part of love, can we extract that part out of love? And can you continue describing to me what love is? Shaka done hung up on me. He done got upset and hung up on Brother Hatem. You know, I know I'll be kind of offending. So I want to send shots out to everybody that tuned in. I know Shaka will be calling in a second. But it's crazy. It's crazy how let me send anybody want to come on the camera and have a discussion. Let's have the discussion. See, because it's crazy how we went all the way. Because I want you to think about how this shit is led. We started talking about faith. Because today is Imani. We started talking about faith and we ended all the way down here about talking about personal relationships and marriage. See, this is how deep we have to go. Right? Because we got a lot of personal work to do, and it's not hard. It's not complicated. It's not no complicated scientific equations that we need. It's some common sense things that our ancestors left us in the words. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all got old Bibles from your grandparents where they wrote little things down for you, and all you had to do is pick it up, open it, and read it. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors have left us keys to us overcoming all this because they stood through all this. Although Miss Kimberly says, Shaka says his phone is charging. He didn't. I know you hung up on me, man. I know it. I'm about to cash this note in, man. Miss Kimberly Burke said, although if I don't love my business partner, I will not want to conquer the world with them. Now, and this is the point. Do you mean, when you say love, do you mean attracted to? Do you mean, because like what I'm saying is, just like with faith, right? Can we hone in what love is? See, because it's sort of like doing science, right? For a long time, this thing called, all right, let me send you an invite. This thing called gravity existed, and gravity didn't become a local term until somebody was able to prove its existence. Right? You know what I'm saying? We got to look at, because relationship building and spirituality is a science. It's not, you know what I'm saying? And it's not complicated, but it's about looking deeper. You see what I'm saying? When we used to go, because people talk about the mystery system, but the mystery system was a self-exploration system. It was a group exploration system where you explored and you look into concepts. This is what initiation is about. Initiation means that your eyes, when you become initiated, your eyes have been opened to see the world in a totally different way. Many of us are only able to see the world in the way that we was taught. And unfortunately, a lot of us was taught by our enemies. So when we say love, what do we mean? When we say God, what do we mean? When we say trust and faith, what do we mean? You know what I'm saying? On the basic level. You know what I'm saying? Not just on the definition that I could pull down from the book, but what does it mean to you in your life? And have this conversation with yourself and your mate. It's hard. And we have to go on and dig and do it, because listen, I'm a fucked up individual, and I'm still trying to figure out why I do half the shit I do. And I was sitting down today thinking, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the shit that I do is because of loneliness. But then how the fuck can I be lonely when all of y'all that know me know that I have been living with people since before high school? How in the fuck can I actually exist in a state of loneliness and have been in a state of loneliness for a long time? How is that possible? Is something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with how I've been taught to define the world? Is there, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? And yet we got to challenge ourselves and ask these questions when we run up against these moments, because in these moments is where our growth and where our strength and where our greatness flowed from. Right? Because at this point in time in my life, I'm in a crisis. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Brother Nuba says, I think that I was in love once, but she betrayed me. Ever since then, I am very cautious about whom I choose as a mate. Kimberly Burke says, it's more than attraction, although it's definitely a part of it, but it's an unconditional feeling that this is my life counterpart, someone that has my back when I can't, is a dog. Angela Mateen, amen. Good morning, my brother. How you doing, Sister Angela? I just toasted your son this morning. A constant part of my libations. Man. But, so family, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, and like all these opinions are mine, but the whole piece of this is that I strive to shatter your old. That's what I do. I'm an urban shaman. You know what I'm saying? I'm a professional asshole. You know what I'm saying? My whole piece is to try to shatter that old shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we holding on to a lot of old shit that's slowing us down. It's like we're running away from the plantation, but we want to hold on to the goddamn change, family. Shouts out to Lily Banks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We'll never get away. We'll never be able to cross the rhythm to freedom, because we're gonna drown with all this extra baggage that we got. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, hey, some of the shit we need to leave and give back to the plantation. Say, thank you, but I don't need this. You know what I'm saying? Or however you want to address the slave master. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Leave that shit there. You know what I'm saying? So family. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, Shock. You know I started running my mouth. I forgot. You know what I mean? He trying to rush somebody. I ain't got time for people that just be hanging up on me for no damn reason, Mr. Hasbury. I still need that list of ancestors, my brother. Anybody else that want to invite so I can get you up on the station? You know, hold on. Now I got to figure out how to go back. How to go back. Okay, cool. I sent them an invite. Hopefully it'll be popping up. Anybody else that want to have a conversation, 614-556-4535. Family, this don't work if you don't work. We got to do the work. I'm about to get up out of here. I got to go get my kids, but I got a few more minutes. Hey, you, I agree. Let's go. Leave it. Let it go. Leave it. Many of us have sacrificed relationships, good relationships, for old shit. And what's crazy is many of us do not even know how old this shit is. It's older than everybody on this timeline's life. We are dealing with a meme. Look up meme, right? M-E-M-E. We are dealing with a mental virus that has been inflicted on us through tragedy, that has been inflicted on us. And because we have not sat and dealt with it, and we allow people to walk by, and we allow people to deal with it like it's okay, it's in the past. Brother Hatim, when he put libation, he says the past is very important. I mean, he says that you should live in the moment. No, I'm saying, but there's some shit that we have to clean up in the past. We can't allow people to walk by our struggles no more. Miss Angela Mateen say, release the shit and move into freedom. Doing great, my brother. Empower each day. Thank you. Miss Nia Asata. Ooh, girl, go ahead. I want someone who is going to this body fade, time get hard, marriage should give that butt. I want someone who is going to be there. The body fade with time and marriage get hard. All right. Kimberly Burke, it's ancient shit. It's like, you know what I'm saying? This is kingdom conquering feeling shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of us have a self-destruct chip. It's deeper than just the Willie Lynch shit. We have a self-destruct chip, right? And we have an entire system. And a lot of y'all ain't gonna get this. And I need y'all to really do your research. There's an entire system designed. It has been designed to hold you where you are. You know what I'm saying? So if we base relationships on economics, if we base relationships on love, how do we build? So they got Shaka, but they have not given me the option to let you come on screen, my friend. Live viewers, let me click you and see. You don't have a camera by your head, man. Get off that old phone, man. I love you, but you can't be on this with no old phone. Everybody give it up for Shaka Hasbury. Let's give him a round of applause because he's an excellent guy. Excellent performer, excellent thinker. Miss Angela McCain says, it's a virus that people don't want to acknowledge. Clean up the shit, and it starts with me. I don't know why I don't know why they will not allow me to. The options are very limited. It says block Shaka Sam Hasbury, delete comment, pin this comment. I don't know why. Somebody who uses Facebook on a regular, let me know why I can't get Brother Shaka on the street. Because he's been coming in regular. I don't know what's going on with this. All right, so. But I won't hold y'all up any longer because I know some of y'all got to go to church. Or at least some of y'all going to be crashing some after church dinners. I know how some of y'all work, right? Because it's still a few old families like my grandma used to throw down. On Sunday was the meal day, boy. But it took me a long time to realize that we ate a whole lot of rice. You know what I'm saying? You eat a lot of something when it takes somebody to point out that you eat it every day. I'm like, God damn, we Chinese? That's how far we've been removed from our culture. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, Shaka, man, you can't. Oh, maybe they'll let them on a messenger. You just blocked everybody out, homeboy. Resume. Shaka got something to say, man. You better get to those keys and start typing. I don't know what. Call back in, man. Everybody call in 614-556-4535 because I only got a couple minutes. Miss Angela Martin said, amen. It is by design to keep us apart. Male and female are meant to rule this kingdom. I am the church, brother. Kimberly Burke, it's a filler. Don Hickman McDougal, hey, brother Hatim, still sharing your knowledge. Thank you. I mean, I ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is my lot in life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all probably understand this. It's kind of when you see shit and everybody else don't see it. It's almost like you might as well be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's you know what I'm saying? It's been like that for me since about 18 and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. Whoa. So,
you know what it is too?
I'm about time. I ain't even hear you. How you do that, man? You see this shit? He just hijacked the show. Go ahead.
Hey, it's about making our outcomes available because that's the evidence. And you don't have to talk as much to convince people that something is there that you just ain't been paying attention to. But when we walk around here and we got these ideas that never manifest or actualize into real evidence, that's the work that we need to be upon right now. We need to provide evidence for those naysayers. And that's what really makes people uncomfortable around me. It's like, when I talk about things and strategies that I have, and people are like, yeah, but that's not going to work no, it's worked before. All you got to do is Google me and see what I did in Columbus. It's the same thing in divinity. Put people down when you got evidence to show them that not only are you wrong, but, this is the process. And we, in terms of our education for our children, emphasize it's process. Because if we teach them a process to close deals, then we teach them a process to succeed at anything that they want. You know, so and that's the piece, is that we so focus on the ABCs and you know and all of that. When it comes to the practical scenarios, when it comes to taking this information and use it in our life practice, that's something that culturally we need to get better at. That's something that culturally we need to be able to define for ourselves right now.
And practice.
And so, yeah.
You know, but you know, and see now, this is one of the issues we run into, right? So we talk about the principles of my eye, and I know. Listen to me, family. I know some of y'all get mad. Miss Nia, shouts out to Don Hickman McDougal. Thank you for tuning in. Miss Nia Sata, girl, go on with them keys. That's what I'm talking about. You should call in. 614-556-4535. I appreciated this conversation. Let's put together a relationship forum. Let's talk. We are living alone or, it went fast, or unhappy in relationships. Shouts out to Naeem Abdul Kareem. Anubis says, and I got to read Brother Anubis because this is my comic book partner. You know what I'm saying? You know, the mythic journeyman. Anubis Kane says, people always say that it won't work just because it has never worked for them. They automatically assume that it's the same for everyone else. I cannot begin to tell you how much I truly loathe such statements. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Right. I'm guilty of some of those statements. But yeah, you got a lot of and this is why it's important to kind of start forming your tribe, right? Because like I said, because once you start getting that tribe together, that circle, you know what I'm saying? That as they since I went to the movie yesterday, that Justice League of your life, you know what I'm saying? Where you know people understand you. See, because it's like this, we be wanting to. Oh, let me get back to the principle piece. This is the problem with the principles, right? We have been practicing them backwards. Let me say that again. We are a very principled people, but we have been practicing them backwards. We're practicing them from the outside in rather than from the inside out. What do I mean? We was honest with Master. We was trustworthy with Master. You know what I'm saying? And we get the backlash for that shit. Right? When in fact you start practicing your principles from the inside out. You first start practicing within you, then you practice them within your group, then within your tribe, and once you start seeing it's working, you can expand it if everybody in that circle, because we all got to have agreements on the principles that we're practicing, or at least have they got something similar. So with this group, with this tribe over here, we can kind of click with them because we might say truth, but they say faith, and they stick to their faith just like we stick to our truth. You know what I'm saying? We're able to translate the shit because we're speaking different emotional languages. So we could translate and we understand that they are people of honor. They're a group of honor. So we can kind of click up with them, right? But then we look at...
We need to own our stories, like you said.
We need to always...
Stories, and
Go ahead.
I wanted to bring that in because you talking about you and Brother Anubis on this comic piece. Let me share something with y'all right now. The number one Marvel movie of all time, the number one movie of all time is what?
I don't know.
Right now it's Thor.
Is it?
All right. The reason I brought up Thor, yes. All right, they're trying something new. The number one rated R Marvel movie or superhero movie of all time is Deadpool, and that's what they're doing with Thor, is trying to bring it on that comedic level, on that, so, but here's the piece. Thor was not the original character. Thor in DC and Marvel, back in the day before there was Thor, there was Shango. In DC and Marvel Comics. If you don't believe me, look it up. Shango was a character in both DC Comics and Marvel Comics. Now, everybody who knows who Shango is understand why he's not there right now. It's pretty evident why not. Because they put a real And in the comics, late 60s, early 70s, and they didn't realize that would wake up black folk and empower them more so than treating it like some fiction. Right? So, both companies took Shango out and replaced him with Thor in the Marvel universe. So just imagine right now what power you have in reintroducing Shango or a Shango-like character.
Right.
Those who need it. Because that's what Marvel's doing right now with Black Panther. They're recreating our myth based on the, where we are in our awakening as a people, and claiming some and this is what Hollywood does. This is the magic of fantasy. It allows the creator to bring principles that you would subscribe to because you enjoy this film, not even thinking about how that is. How do you say it? How is blowing up your old paradigm?
Blowing up your old paradigm. And I'm very scared for this Black Panther movie, man. One of the good things we got Brother Anubis probably will see it before everybody else, so he will be able to warn us. If you know what I'm saying, because it could go drastically wrong. Because a lot of people see, and one of the things that they get us with is, is these narratives that take us away from where we really are. You know what I'm saying? A movie is designed to emote emotions. Now, Anubis comes up and says, DC and Marvel have always shared not just similar characters, but also the same writers, as was the case with Thor, and the new guys that Marvel passed on DC, just associated with Darkseid. Word. Now, that's the comic book dude right there. You know what I'm saying? So, for those that don't know, Darkseid is the main character. They mentioned him a little bit in Justice League, but Darkseid is who Steppenwolf in his latest movie worked for. And but I'm gonna leave that there. But these movies are designed to emote emotions and to invoke certain mental states. And I'm real concerned about the magic that's going to be unleashed on our community. And this is what individuals like yourself, myself, Anubis, and other people are able to critically watch these movies and connect them with deeper ideas, is that we need to be able to have these conversations with our people when they go see these movies, so that we can make sure that the understanding that they have benefits them as well as the group. You understand what I'm saying? Because, it's like, because the last thing we need is a whole bunch of motherfuckers dreaming about being the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be the Black Panther, an individual that's able to conquer large institutions, when you don't even look at the backstory of this character. This character is the richest character in the DC in the Marvel universe. You understand what I'm saying? This character comes from a secret world that has been hidden from everybody else. Nobody even knows that Wakanda exists but a few people. Right? So you know what I'm saying? So boom, we got to look at that. You know what I'm saying? And my fault, Anubis corrected me. He's the richest individual in all comics. So if you take Tony Stark, no, really, if you take Tony Stark's Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne and combine their money together, you know what I'm saying? They might be able to touch Homeboy, right?
What were we talking about? Some 300 billion or something like that?
Somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? Because he controls a rare element. But I don't want to get all off into that. But I want people to understand that when you're trying to compare yourself to something, I want you to get the message. I want you to get the deeper lessons. I want you to be able to look at the betrayals. I want you to be able to look at the symbolism. I want you to be able to look at the regalness of the movie. But I don't want you to get caught up in any quick mind fucks that they might try to throw on us. right? Because family, the last thing we need is for everybody once again to be lulled into a sleep because they gave us the Black Panther. You know? It's equal opportunity in Hollywood. Come on, family, this is away from your life. There's no superhero coming to save you. You're the superhero, right? But hold on, Miss Angela says, yes, I agree. The power is within us, and we have to stop feeling unworthy unworthy using it. We have to take charge when time presents it on our path. We must finally connect the dots and stop allowing our minds to be fucks over. She used FUXX. You allowed to cuss on this show, baby. Brother Anubis say, not even close. Anubis say a trillion. You know what I'm saying? Anubis say he a trillionaire, but that's his thing, right? And we have to understand that. We have to understand that a major part of culture, which they don't allow us to really see, a major part of culture is the propagandists. That's what they call it, but it's actually we call it the griot. We call it the storyteller. We call it the dancer. We call it the drummer. We call it the individuals that are able to tell the stories. Y'all, you got to see how the American vision has been built up on stories. The reason you know the shit that you know is because you have been told a story repeatedly over and over and over again. And in order for us to get free, we have to start taking control of our story, and we have to start telling it, and we got to start checking those individuals who don't have the right to tell it and don't have the proper information. We have to shut them down. Right? So yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to do it,
how can you shut down Disney?
Oh, dog, you know how to shut down Disney? You know how to shut down Disney? Well, Disney can create whatever they want. Your child don't have to watch it. My children don't have to watch it. If Anubis have children, his children don't have to watch it. Some of our grandchildren don't have to watch it. We have to be very clear with our children and let them know, listen, we at war. You can't go see that shit. Disney is, like right now, and y'all need to check this out, right? Brother Hatim, we're doing this daily libation thing. Check out the latest movie from Pixar. What it's about. I bet you some ancestors in that motherfucker. We stay constantly ahead of the curve. So now, since we're now calling on our ancestors, all of a sudden we got a Pixar movie that comes out that's about the Mexican Day of the Dead. It's based on that.
Right.
It's based on ancestors walking around in skeletons and shit to kind of get us and our children scared of dealing with stuff that we have been dealing with for generations. Hold on, Joe Barry, the young people try to be the movie. Exactly. Rather, we need them to be dealing with the reality rather than dealing with the movie. The movie is a break, but it gets certain things flowing in us. I ain't saying not to see it. Shaka says, Anubis, I need you, your friend, Demetrius Chuck Dragon Black Collins. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, I need him two friends.
Oh,
my bad.
Okay.
I need him to friend Chuck. He's an
He's an animator. Don Hickman says,
actually, you know, I met him through the late T.C. Islam, the ambassador of the Zulu Nation, while I was in the Bronx, and there was a party that they do in the Bronx called I forget what they call it, but his art, and I think I told you, he's got these Japanimation looking characters, big warriors with Ndinkra symbols branded on their forehead, and it's just, I mean, it's the dopest. If you look up Chuck Collins, or however his page, his name is, I tagged him. Check him out. He's one of the artists who's already ready, you know, and understand the spiritual symbolism to be able to. So I just thought I'd make that connection between y'all.
All right, so we got Don Hickman says real talk. We got Joe Barry. This I call myself the truth teller. Anubis, he put Coco. That's the name of the latest Pixar movie. Disney has a homosexual agenda. That's Sister Nia coming across, and we, you know what I'm saying. We know these things, right? But can we create stories to combat this shit? See, because y'all need to understand, man.
And we
Everything.
Understand too. If we're gonna block Disney, understand what we're blocking. Disney owns ESPN.
Oh yeah.
Disney owns Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes down to it, how do you block Disney?
Except what?
Turning everything off.
Or not just turn, but this is the issue, right? This is where your power lies, Shaka. When we have conversations with young people that's watching Disney or grown folks, because I just came from a Disney movie, because Disney owns Marvel, I'm able to have a conversation with my kids about what's going on. A lot of this shit we can't avoid. But can we have the conversations? Can we have the conversations?
I got it.
Go ahead.
I got to say this, Tim, because I see it. I wonder if
have a great
everybody else
day.
sees it this way. All right. I saw on Facebook somebody was talking about, man, I know he didn't start this behavior when he was 38. He was talking about an NFL player beating on his girl and getting sent up or whatever. All right. But the piece is this: every other week, it's a different NFL player that's getting whipped for being the big black buck. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the news that's happening, and what's the power behind it? Is it just the owners? Is it the league that's saying that this is not right, or is it part of this bigger agenda to continue to whip the meanest, the biggest? You know what I mean? And maintain that whole Willie Lynchism. So how do we define that? How do we define it when the people that we root on every single week, if we're sports fanatics, potentially is going to be the next one, and that's that fear. You know what I mean? But why? So how do we battle with that?
Hold on, here we go. Anubis say they own way too much. You talking about Disney? They even wanted to purchase Fox Entertainment Film Library recently. Don Hickman says they began targeting our youth because they are the most vulnerable and most impressionable. If we don't become the gatekeepers of our own, they will. Now, and you asked the question, how? Right? Family. Simple discussions. Talking to your kids.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Getting them to understand. They don't have to understand. They don't have to understand the propaganda. But what we need to bring back is the storyteller in our families and in our groups. Individuals that are able to lace and not only tell stories, but able to take other people's stories and frame it in a way that benefits us. We got to understand. See, because our whole lives are based on stories. And our trust and our belief in stories that we have been told.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is a story. Christmas is a story. 4th of July is a story. The political system, the Republican Party has a story. The Democratic Party has a story. All these groups have narratives.
Oh, Thanksgiving is a story.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Thanksgiving is a story.
It's a story. And we enact it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
You have many young men call you dad, and you biologically is not their dad.
Hey man, they don't know that.
The other the story on the other side though is of their true dad. How will they tell your story when you're the one that fathered or represented father to their sons? The reason that I bring this up is because as we're talking about Disney as a predator to we frame it that way because on the other side, when it comes to the solution, which you say is having a conversation with our children, there's too many of us not. There's too many of us who are not even involved with them for the opportunity to come about to and things that they will go through to prepare them. And it's a mess. You know why? Because a lot of them don't understand. And a lot of them are intimidated with your light when you are teaching them what you're teaching them, because when it comes to interfacing that with what they would have taught them, it doesn't interface because they don't know. And what's the proverb? You can't teach what you don't know.
Now,
and you can't lead where you want to go. When you understand the machine that we're moving against, it's not just one man. Walt Disney is dead. We're talking about a corporation who will infiltrate whatever you're teaching from a household level because they have a more substantial and a prettier and a sexier message.
Hold on. Now, let me read this. Miss Nia says most NBA and NFL players come from troubled backgrounds. They have yet to deal with childhood struggles, mentally dealing with what happened, dealing with the pain, community helping will overcome through positive storytelling. Kimberly Burke says, have the conversation. 90% of my raising my sons was having the conversation. It will always be in their brains, even when it comes to making a choice between right and wrong. We underestimate our power as parents and as major people in our children's lives. Dude, listen, I'm not even concerned about how somebody I raised is going to relate the story of Brother Hatim in their life. They may have a good relationship with their father. They may not have a good relationship with their father. But this is what happens. Regardless of how they recognize me, right? Because this is the story of Hatim. Regardless of how they recognize me, one of the children will notice that one day they say, Dad, whether they calling me that on purpose or whether it slips. And the question comes out from the child, why did you call him Dad? We was just over grandfather's house last week. The story has to be told. See, this is the issue, man. We're not using stories in the way that we need to be using stories. Stories are propaganda. Stories are tools of war, family. And until we realize that, we always gonna lose. Now, me being a motherfucker that took a keto, me being the individual that did capoeira, I understand the science of hiding shit right in plain sight. In capoeira, I couldn't practice in plain sight in the traditional way. You know what I'm saying? Even though I could kick the slave master's ass, I couldn't because my whole family was at stake. But I was able to do it. And I was able to hide what I was doing. And I was able to take what they gave me and make it my own. See, I'm scared of what they're going to bring with the Black Panther. And that's cool. But I also know my power to shift that whole goddamn story because I'm a storyteller. I'm a story reader and I'm a storyteller. Some of us, and this is what I'm saying. I can't expect from you what I can do. This is why tribes was important. Because as a tribe, we are able to specialize. Right now, a lot of us have been put in a position where we feel we got to do every goddamn thing. In the community, you had an individual who was responsible for, you had a propagandist in the tribe. Where is the tribe? Everybody, see, we think we got to do everything. So we isolate ourselves in our little nigger caves. You know what I'm saying? These apartments or these houses, we isolate ourselves and we think that we have to be everything for everybody when we don't. You know what I'm saying? For all I know, it might be somebody out there that might be needing a business idea, and here's a business idea. Why not be a storyteller on YouTube and only give it to your fan base and build up? So that every night, since I don't have time as a parent to read a story, this is what I did. I wrote a book of stories.
The spider.
Well, hold on. I wrote a book of stories called 7 Sticks. I took old stories and recreated them for my kids. Not just my birth kids, but my kids at my school. And I had the book, and what I did was I read the book over YouTube. So for a period of time in my children's lives, I would put it on and play it for them when they went to sleep. Now, You don't have to be the one telling your child the story nowadays when they go to bed. We have a global community and an international tribe right now where we need to start putting these stories out. This is why I say salute your personal ancestors. Why? Because I teach my kids to look up to Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X and look right past their grandmothers and their grandparents, and then they'll create some shit. A fucked up story about Marcus Garvey, a fucked up story about Malcolm X that I have absolutely no control of. But you know whose story I can control? I could control Cleveland Brown's story. Hold on. So we got a bunch of comments coming in. Joe Berry, brother, did you used to work at the Afrocentric on Livingston Avenue when they first started there? Yeah, this brother had Tim. That was my place. Brother Dentista, also known as D. Allen Young, the Capoeira. They call him Dentista because he'll kick your fucking teeth out. I want that book, Elder. Inbox me, I got you. Next time you come to Columbus, I'll try to make sure I have a copy. Yeah, Dentista live in Cleveland right now. Angela Mateen, yes, we underestimate the power we have in our children's lives. Many of our children know the truth and are ready to act on our ancestors' instruction. We need to tell our story to our children without making them feel subordinate to us because of their age. Many of them are hearing clearly from our ancestors. And that shit is scary, family. You know what I'm saying? When you hearing shit, and shit is not lining up, we got to understand, we have a generation of kids who after all this trauma, you got to understand, my generation, I was born in 68. My generation was one of the first generations that could come out without blatant racist shit going on. All of the generations after me have had more and more time, which means that you have an individual who had to be super vigilant, who all of a sudden 3 generations from me, 3 generations from me. Wait, hold on. 3 generations from me do no longer have to turn this hypervigilance outwards, but can now look in. Let me read this comment, then I'm gonna let you go. We got Bert Gordon up on here. Brother Bert, what's up, Bert? Don't fall into the trap of glamorous negativity and don't buy into it. Find excellence in yourself and do more. Have a like mindset of being independently owned by self. Then seek the truth. No longer telling stories, but truths. Because when stories are told, a twist is added, and it is no longer true or real. Now, I hear you, but stories play a big part in raising children. Stories play a big part in raising adults. You understand what I'm saying? Stories can be twisted, but if they're coming from your mouth as twisted, then who has the problem, you or your child? You understand what I'm saying? Stories are important. Many of us grew up, whether y'all know it, because some of y'all gonna get mad at me. The Bible is a big storybook. I said it, God damn it. It's a big storybook. Right? A lot of us base our lives on the storybook. And in the stories are lessons. And it's your job to extract the lessons. The Pertinent Herald is a storybook. The Quran is a storybook. These motherfucking books have conquered nations. My question is, family, where your book? Where our book? We're grabbing everybody's book. We're defending everybody else's story. Let's start telling ours. See, because this is the issue. Last piece. One of the problems with reality is that reality won't allow me to walk on water. Reality won't allow me to bring back the dead, which is an important motif in stories. Because the bringing back of the dead is symbolically bringing a person from one phase to another phase. You have to have miracles in stories because the miracles and the superpowers in the story allow the hero to do something that is transformative for those in the story as well as for those outside the story. Either to make you great or to make you a slave. Brother Burt says, I agree as far as the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But all the other stuff I said, forget it. I'm just joking, brother. Kimberly Burke said, a big storybook, although some of us don't know our truth or our story. See, and we don't realize that we have been morphed and we have been shaped by stories. This is why, see, we push our children into engineering. We push them into science. We push them into computer science. But do you know that one of the biggest and one of the best fields that we never push our children into? Acting. Storytellers. Because game makers are storytellers. Movie makers are storytellers. Book writers are storytellers. These are storytelling industries. They're all based on telling a narrative to maintain the structure that controls us, family. Please, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We got to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is, one of the things that's going to free us is going to be a simple story. The thing that unleashed the Haitian Revolution was a story. Songwriters, exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the artists in this, wait, because y'all know artists are the vanguard of revolution. Artists are the vanguard. But go ahead, bro. Handle your business.
All right. See, first
I got.
of all,
Go ahead.
Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Hello?
I'm here. Go ahead. I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna just go. All right. So here's what it is, man. Is that as we are empowering people to develop this thing, these lessons with our kids, we have to feel to let see what we're teaching doesn't interfere with their stuff. For example, I saw a man last year was on Facebook with his stick, bro, were able to disassemble guns, load them, and fire them. Right?
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. To me, if you ask me, there's nothing wrong with teaching your child how to use, these firearms. See, this. Now you're on YouTube. Now you're getting ridiculed by those who don't agree with you, that don't understand you. Now you're high posting, and where is that guy at today? I don't know, because the reality is that beyond him being your subject to ridicule, let alone your brother out there trying to do something revolutionary, trying to do something to change the standard of what we teach our kids, where is he at? But I'm going to just leave it at that.
Now, let me say this, family. My niece is calling me. I have to go and get my kids because they checked out the hotel and it's right around the corner. I have had a lovely time, and I want to thank each and every last one of y'all for tuning in. I want to thank Shaka. Joe Berry says, I agree about the Bible, but you got to research it and let people know where they got the story from, the temple's walls, and turn it around for their benefit. And I'm like this. When we start discussing, because this is the issue, when we start discussing myth, the origin of myth is less important than the story that you can use as a storyteller to get somebody motivated. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I got to go. Bert Gordon said, people need heroes to follow as well as take the lead from without ego, and it will impact all. Please don't misinterpret. Yes, sir. I understand. Hey, man, all this is just my opinion. I love each and every last one of y'all, even though I shouldn't use that. I economically enjoy it. I don't know what the fuck this. I don't know what you. I got faith in all of y'all. That's it. Got faith in all of y'all. Listen. Family, I enjoyed the conversation. I want to thank Shaka for joining us. I got to go because my girls are waiting at the hotel for me to pick them up, and I don't want to keep them waiting, and I am out. All right? Y'all have a great and grand day. Love you too, bro. All right, peace out, Mr. Anubis. I will see you soon. We need to talk about that Justice League movie. I wasn't totally happy with it, but hey, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people saying they like it. I don't want to, But hey, you have been listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. I am your host. Well, actually, Gye-Nyame Journey. I got to get that radio up out of there. I love you too, Miss Kimberly. This is a Heart of a Simple production. Will we strive to blow up your old paradigm? I'm out, family. I got to go get these girls. Love you too, Miss Angela. Y'all take it easy. Like and share, fam. Like and share.